What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The market had a crazy day today. Disney stock is exploding, SPCE stock is tanking, and the S&P 500 they broke all-time highs and made new highs. Overall, we have a ton of great plays in today's video. Make sure to stick around to the end, and towards the end of the video, we have a $2.6 million trade for this week. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day, and come join the StockedUp Discord. The link for that will be in the description down below, but it will be the pinned comment in the comments down below. It is completely free, and you can network with 13,000 other traders completely free, so definitely check it out. But let's get right into it, Tom.
Yeah, Disney had a fantastic day today. They were actually on fire, breaking that 180 resistance right around market open, or I should say a couple hours after. But overall, the movement was awesome once it broke that. On the 1 minute, we can actually see that it moved up above that 180 level and then came right back down and confirmed right off of it right in the middle of the day, which was awesome to see. Ended up flying right up. So overall, great day for Disney. They actually had their new Black Widow show had great numbers in theaters and on Disney Plus. I think that's awesome for them, and they can continue to use those types of catalysts, I think, to just generate more stock growth over the next few months, especially like if they have something come out like The Mandalorian or something like that. But Disney Plus is a great tool that they're able to use and kind of get good numbers and kind of like we see here, a lot of good momentum off of. And then also they're raising the monthly and annual fees for ESPN Plus, which is a pretty much like a sports streaming service. I use it a lot to watch basketball games and stuff like that. But right now it's costing $5.99 a month or $59.99 per year. It's being raised to $6.99 a month or $69.99 a year. So pretty much a $10 raise on the yearly subscription or a $1 raise on the monthly. But whenever you have so many people, that'll definitely keep you give you a big boost whenever you have millions of subscribers like ESPN Plus does. And it says that prices for UFC pay-per-view matches are pretty much going to stay the same, and a lot of their other stuff like the bundle with Hulu and Disney Plus is still going to stay the same. It says the group subscription costs $13.99 per month, 30% less than the cost of individual subscriptions to all three services, which a lot of people do, of course. But that's it. That's awesome to hear, though, that Disney rose off of this. And I think the biggest thing was just breaking that 180 resistance early in the morning. It really gave it that type of room, I think, to really start running up, especially on the daily.
So Disney is such a powerhouse play, like you talked about, Tom. Of course, they have Disney Plus and then ESPN Plus and just that side of the business. But they're also kind of a reopening play with their parks. You know, a lot of them, like especially the California one, was shut down for so long, and now it's finally open and it's able to produce a lot of revenue, which is awesome. And on top of that, JP Morgan had some awesome things to say about Disney, how it's like one of their top stocks, and overall it just has a ton of momentum right now. And they're such a solid company. And Tom, we got into this Disney play real early in the premium stocked up group. We got into some Disney calls a little while ago, and now Disney's exploding, which is awesome to see. We got these calls super cheap, and they are literally exploding. If you want to trade with Tom and I and our bots every single day, definitely check out the first link in the description down below. The bots have been on fire, and the plays have been too. You can cancel at any time, but this Disney play is looking awesome, and I'm very excited to see how it progresses.
Yeah, for sure. And over the next couple of weeks, I would definitely watch it. I see a pretty big resistance up here around $190, and then up above that around all-time highs right around 200 to 203. But I really like Disney right now. I also like how it double bottomed around 170. Just looks very, very solid. Was able to break the 100 SMA on the daily as well, and actually, like I said, break that 180 resistance and really fly up. So I think the setup's in a pretty prime spot.
All right, and then Tom, what's going on with SPCE? It got smacked today.
Man, this ended up being a terrible play here. I know the call options got destroyed today. The IV just got crushed. And you know what? Early on in the morning, we're looking at the 15-minute chart. SPCE was looking pretty good. They were flying up off of that Richard Branson news. The flight obviously went very well for them. We flew up in pre-market up to $60 right away. Ended up tanking right back down, though. It opened, we saw a huge drop. Actually, as Virgin Galactic is getting set for a $500 million stock offering, or share offering, I should say. And pretty much CNBC reports that Virgin Galactic has 240 million shares outstanding, of which 164.6 million are available to the public for trading, which is known as the float, of course. And based on Friday's closing price of $49.20, Virgin's $500 million offering would equate to nearly 10.2 million shares. So that's definitely a lot of shares. And a $500 million offering is definitely big, which made this stock ended up tanking down in the middle of the day. We even saw a halt on this on the way down. I think a couple of them. I know we saw at least one, but man, it ended up halting somewhere around $44 to start it off and just kept going lower all day. Definitely not good for SPCE. And, I'm sure a lot of retail traders were loading up on calls with this. I even ended up losing. I threw a little $500 gamble at it over the weekend and ended up definitely going down. I ended up only losing 250, but that option's only worth about $30 right now. And it was worth $500 on Friday and expires this Friday. So it's not like it expires tomorrow or anything, but that definitely got killed.
Yeah, it got smacked big time. But overall, I'm seeing a lot of I'm just seeing a little bit of a rotation out of these tech stocks like Apple and a couple other ones and into some of the value stocks like Disney. And I'm even watching some stocks like Airbnb, VIAC, and even Starbucks. That one's trending pretty well.
Yeah, Starbucks actually had a great day and a great week. I think if they can break out above 118.78 tomorrow, we're going to see a really good run out of Starbucks, possibly up around that all-time high, right around 118.98. We're going to have to see a good move, and we might hit new highs tomorrow around 120 if we see it end up going up. And yeah, the high is 118.98. So definitely watch out for that level tomorrow.
All right, well, let's get right into our Discord member of the day. Today's member of the day is Taylor Strong. So he had some awesome comments in the Discord today. He said, quotes, I'm like 30 for 30 on the hybrid plays. I have no clue the actual number, but I have not taken a loss in like 2 months on those. So huge shout out, Taylor. The hybrid bot has been on fire. We can see today was the signal with CCIV alerted at 143, ran way past 180 actually. It actually had just an amazing setup and the bot has been on fire. But yeah, thank you so much for all the kind words, Taylor. And it's awesome to hear those types of results.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great trade, Taylor. I really like to see that. And man, thank you for the kind words. We always appreciate that stuff. And it's always nice to see everybody doing pretty well. And man, like we've been talking about though, that hybrid bot has just been straight up fire, Mike. It's only had a couple of losses in the past month. And man, it's just been straight up fire, like firing play after play after play. If you guys like it, definitely check out the comments down below. I think you guys will really like it. I know that I've personally been liking it quite a bit too.
Yeah, so if you guys want to try it out, it's that first link in the description. You can cancel at any time. You get access to a ton of different bots. They've been on fire. Of course, they're not magic. Not every single play just doubles 2 seconds after it's alerted. But in general, it's definitely been on fire and definitely check it out. But now let's get right into today's momentum plays. With the first one, we have Disney to the upside.
Yeah, Disney had a great breakout type of day today. Make them break out above 185 tomorrow, and that was actually a pretty solid upper level at the end of the day.
All right, with the next one, we have UPST.
Upstart, they had a fantastic day today. They have a huge like triple top intraday up here around 131, so make them break out above that.
All right, with the next one, we have CCIV.
CCIV, I've actually been liking this stock a lot lately. Make them break out above 27.40 for tomorrow, but the daily on CCIV is looking pretty promising.
All right, so we are watching these 3 plays for potential day trades tomorrow to the upside, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But now let's get right into the $2.6 million trade for this Friday. We are looking at the Nvidia 840 strike calls. Like I said, that expired this Friday. I'm definitely going to say that the smart money is shorting these calls. Nvidia had an amazing day today, but just with the way it's been moving, I think it's overbought, and the IV is pretty high, and it's a weekly.
Yeah, I think it's overbought too, and I think it has to fall. But this setup today, intraday, looks pretty solid. There's definitely there was, I should say, a pretty good resistance around 820. Looks like at after hours, we're just kind of sitting right there. So I think we're definitely nearing some key levels for tomorrow. But to me, it almost seems like they might have been longing this. I'm not sure. But definitely looks like a pretty solid setup to me at the end of the day. This one's pretty tricky to me, Mike. I'd say I'm pretty neutral on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards shorting it, but we'll see what happens. But let's get right into these comments. With the first comment, we have DD saying, "What do you think about Ford as the hidden gem leap play for a 10,000% move by next summer on the 15 to 20 strike calls?" So to see a 10,000% move, that would be crazy. Now, Ford has been moving so well over the past year, and I love the way that they're trending, but I don't think we're going to see that big of a move. The 15 to 20 strike calls are good. I would definitely get the 15s if you were to get them, though. It's always better to get closer to the money with as much time as possible. I think a lot of this Ford play just depends on how well they adapt and all, like how they do with the EV market. I know that that's a huge market, a huge sector, and it's only expected to grow. So I think it's awesome with the way they're adapting, and I would expect them to continue up. But it's hard to give like an accurate prediction for what's going to happen over the next year in such a competitive market.
Yeah, that's a really competitive market, like you said. And I think Tesla might start to do pretty good with that new truck coming out. I think that that's going to blow Ford's truck and a lot of these other trucks away, actually. And that new Tesla truck, I think, is going to be the big news in just a couple of months. Just be ready for whenever they start actually producing that and people start getting them, because I think that'll start to be a pretty big thing. But whenever I look at Ford on the Max Weekly, I will say there's a humongous resistance up here around $18. It's hit off of that a lot all the way back in 09, 2012, 2013, 14 area. Definitely hit off of it a lot and then went down off of there. So be really careful as we get to $18. It hit those levels and then went down for a few years before. So if you're just having a play for 1 year, I'd be a little careful with it. I think going further out might actually be better for Ford. I know it's hard to hold calls for like 4 years or something, and they might not even offer them, of course, but shares would be the way to go at that point. But I think that $18 is just such a big resistance that over the next year, if we pass above that, we'll see a pretty big move. But it's going to take a lot of good news to kind of break out above that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have Justin saying, "Good one, guys. Palantir needs to start going up." What do you guys think about CCIV? So I'm with you with Palantir. It's had a horrible week actually last week, but I love them for the long term. And in the grand scheme of things, they had a really nice recovery from May. Overall, they're looking good, and it looks like they are making higher lows, which is a bullish sign. But looking at CCIV, they had an amazing day today. This stock, I know it still has a relatively high short float, which is a good sign because it shows that there is potential for a short squeeze. They're in a great industry. I like them, but they're definitely a speculative play.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty risky. CCIV, they don't really have the groundbreaking like fundamentals yet. I think that once they start to sell some cars, we'll see good moves. But right now, CCIV is still like in those beginning stages, and I do think that there's room for growth. Though I like how it's had green days the past 3 days. That doesn't mean it's going to necessarily keep going up tomorrow, but I will say I like the setup for like the next few years, I think.
For sure. And then we have La saying Qualcomm, Tesla, and Mara. So some pretty solid stocks. Qualcomm had a pretty good day overall. They're looking pretty good. It looks like they're making higher lows, and they're getting pretty close to that resistance right at like you can say like 145.
Yeah, definitely. And I could actually really see Qualcomm starting to break out here. That resistance at 145 is really big. If we start to break out above that, I could possibly see Qualcomm moving up to maybe 160 up here, all the way up towards that upper resistance level. I think that's pretty solid. And Qualcomm's one of those good semiconductor stocks too. And it's had a great support down here around 125. So I really like it.
And then what do you think about Tesla? It's having a pretty good day.
Yeah, really solid actually. Moving off the 200 SMA, they're actually following this little trend line I put on the chart as well. They pretty much held that level, came right back up today to the longer term trend line, but I really like that solid move up today. It looks really strong, like we might see a continuation out of it tomorrow as well. So definitely have your eyes on Tesla and possibly NIO. I know that NIO didn't move quite as good as Tesla today, but they definitely recovered up towards the end. And I think we might be in for another good move out of these EV stocks. And just one thing I want to say is I know someone talked about Ford earlier, is that whenever we have like Tesla and these stocks kind of going down, Ford was kind of on the uptrend during that time. So I'm wondering if Tesla and some of these other stocks start to fly back up, if that'll start to hurt Ford in the short term.
Yeah, good point for sure. And then the last one, Mara. It's making higher lows and it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, Mara does not look too bad. The main thing with this one's going to be Bitcoin, of course, but I will say if you're buying it for like the longer term, it's starting to look good with this little dip that's going on. I think it could personally dip a little bit lower, but I think that it's good for the longer run.
All right, Tom. Well, do you have any like top stocks for tomorrow?
Man, still watching Boeing. That's been a pretty big one. They ended up just going flat today, not really doing anything. Usually we see a little bit more movement than this. I know that they're not the biggest moving stock in the world, but it definitely consolidated today. I'm really going to be just looking for a move up above up out of $240, which I think will be a pretty good play to the upside. And honestly, I think we might be able to get a quick scalp to the downside if we break below 235. I think that could be a pretty good play. So I'm just really eyeing this out for the next couple of days and just kind of waiting to see if we end up breaking to the downside, or if we can break up above 240. I'll really like it.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget, if you want to trade with Tom and I every single day, plus get access to the bots, definitely check out the first link in the description down below. The bots have been on fire, and so have the plays. We got in Disney and UPST before they popped, and the plays are looking great. So definitely check them out. You can cancel at any time, and we have a ton of custom bots. Definitely check it out. Also, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day, and then come join Tom and I live every single day at Market Open on the Stocked Up Live YouTube channel. The link for that channel is also in the description down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.